What up, beautiful people of South Africa? As you can see,
Hey, lekgowa. But there was no one stock sweeting me in the house. They couldn't catch me, even if they could.
Tyrone got evicted last night, and this is our in-depth conversation that we'll be chopping up. First and foremost, hey, Tyrone.
Damn. Don't say
Tyrone.
Don't say it. Say it in English.
Ah, Tyrone. My first question to you, your game was ruined by Biggie. Biggie decided to make you stand. I think it was just you and Sweet Guluva.
Yes, and Mshini.
And Mshini, who had never been nominated.
Yes.
And Uyanda was so happy that everyone got nominated because he's
constantly standing and sitting.
The first question to you is, how did that make you feel when they said, Tyrone, stand up?
Nonge. All of you, stand up. I won't lie, I was nervous, Smash.
No.
You know, I've watched the show many times to understand how the maths works. That you stand, you sit, you stand, you sit, you build momentum, you're definitely staying. And I looked at my chances, and even when Biggie said, what do you think your chances are? I said, I got 50-50, girl. It's either I stay or I go. And I knew by this point in the competition, as much as there might be people who genuinely love me outside, they'll vote for me. But the momentum of people who are standing and sitting, I can't
On a regular, on a weekly basis.
Sana, so open up, you are just there. I was like, I can't compete with Msuku, who's holding us by the scrotum.
Yeah.
I can't compete with Nate, who every week has a new name in the house. I was like, no.
You can't compete with Uyanda.
Oh,
he's also been up and down.
Hey, it's
Abobo.
Hey, they're
up and down.
I was just like, you know what, girl? I've had my time in the sun. I enjoyed my experience. And if God's will is that I stay, I know they're going to see me.
Yeah.
I was going to set that house on fire like they've never seen before.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that everything I'd done before that wasn't me setting the house on fire, but I was going to be so happy. Standing and sitting, at least once, I was South Africa Mara.
Were you touched when Mshini did not choose you as a +1 into the HOH loft?
Nah.
Because you didn't seem to enjoy the HOH loft, in fact, or like maximize
it's so far
it.
away. Me, I like being with the people. I love like entertaining people. I love chilling with people. There, you're so isolated. There's not even a bathroom.
There isn't.
I must walk 2 years.
I was the first one to actually see the house, so I know exactly what that house looks like.
I'm like, I must walk 2 years to just get a shower. I'm like, no Biggie. It's okay, I'll eat your snacks. And I'll do your duty.
Let's talk about your absolute best moment in the house. What was that?
My absolute best moment.
It could be more than one, hey?
I think on one level, it was having the opportunity to show off my love for presenting. Whether it be on the Saturday nights with the runway, whether it be in a wager task, being able to MC just those 2-3 minutes in between, because it's what I've loved since I was born.
Yeah.
It's what I've always thought I was born to do.
Sure.
I think one of my favorite moments though will always be dancing at the Saturday night.
Ne.
I
went
to go lose weight.
Yazi that show, I won't mention it because we're on a different platform. That was you.
That was me. They didn't even have to wash the clothes they gave us. They were drenched. You could just throw soap and it's clean.
Speaking of soap and clean, you got your first experience of hand wash. Hand washing. Is it hand washing?
A hand wash. You know, I always see the packet when it says the hand wash. I'm like, hand wash. You wash with your hands. Some people, I know it's not my journey.
Walk me through that. What was that experience? Were you like?
My clothes are not clean. They smelled good, but they're not clean. When I saw milk, 1, 2, I said, no, that's too much. Then they said, no, there's like rips or there's like these ridges in the thing. You just go like this. I said, sharp, that's my scapegoat. Just go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yo, I hated it. Yo, that was the worst experience ever.
But you look like a teachable spirit, so I enjoyed watching that. Let's talk about the hardest part in the house that you think the viewer might not have seen on TV that you experienced.
I don't really think it was something that was really seen, right? However, there was conversation at some point that people were questioning Swiss's sexuality because of his relationship with me. which really triggered me as a person because I had lived my whole life with rules. So that if I chill with Smash, no one thinks Smash is gay. If I chill with Mang Mang, they don't think that this person's gay. And this was even before I decided to come out. So now to have people look at Swiss because he's so comfortable with me and creating that safe space and to assume he's gay or he's bisexual.
And these are the housemates
that are
talking
creating this assumption. I was really touched. And it took me back to a place where I felt like that high school kid who is monitoring how he speaks, who's monitoring how he walks, he's monitoring how he looks at guys.
It's always as if like you are playing a character.
And I'm not
You are
being
never
myself.
allowed to be you.
Yeah, so it was wild. And I had to go to the moment and I had to go to the toilet and just cry. And the reason I went to the toilet was because I'm not someone who wants to have these big moments now creating scenes within the house. Because I'd realized Swiss's character is, if you make Tyrone cry, I'm gonna mess with you then. And I was like, I didn't want that. I don't want other people fighting battles that I know I can fight. And even though you will speak to people and tell them, nah, I got this type of thing, they'll always want to defend you. And so for me, that was one of the hardest things that I had to deal with in the house, was trying to always make sure that the guys were comfortable around me.
Sure.
And not wanting them to ever feel as though I'm invading or trying to now be a peeping Tom in their space.
Okay, it's crazy, man. And it's also so sad to think that with the generation that was part of a BigBrotherMzansi season 5, they would even
be such conversations.
Weird. But anyway, let's talk about happy vibes, or at least like more on a positive light. Who would you call your ride or die? Someone you like, no, ekfatelio.
It would be so difficult to choose between Swiss and
No,
Jojo.
no. You can have multiple people.
I'd say Swiss, Jojo, Nate, Muzi the Mbuzi. As much as we were not close and we didn't have that strong bond, he's such a genuine person. He's such a great guy, and I can't wait to reach out to him and go to his quarter place and just share a quarter.
And he's been pushing and campaigning for
He's been making us know that if you go, there's a quarter waiting. Just let me know when you're showing up.
So you have a ride or die, right? Who would be the housemate that you would put as an ice in case of emergency? Based on how they are, how they were to you, as like, I see you. Like, you are reliable. If they had to call you after midnight, I'm in trouble, you definitely pick up and
jump.
Yeah.
Hey, Swiss, Jojo, definitely Melino.
Yeah.
Melino gives such great father energy. I don't want to say the other word that people use and then it gets taken out of context, you know. Like, Melino just gives great energy, and throughout the house, especially with me wanting to create a name for myself within this industry and him having worked within this industry, he has so much knowledge and he's not afraid to share it. He's not afraid to guide you and say, you know what, bruh, you actually don't have what it takes. Or you have what it takes, this is what you need to work on. If Imel could call me and from my grave, I'll wake up.
There was, I think the first week you lost your voice.
Yes.
And you came in guns blazing. Tyrone, what vibe? Tyrone. And then you lost your voice, right? And I think it took you a week and a half to get back to the Tyrone.
Tyrone.
What was happening there?
That was me rethinking my strategy.
Okay.
I realized we're all here. In that house, we were all here. Now I'm in my head, I'm like, damn, everyone here wants to be center stage. And I'm like, how do I take being here to being here so that I'm still seen when I need to be seen, I'm still loud when I need to be loud, but I'm allowed to not compete with other people where it looks obvious.
Sure.
Because no one wants to look like Sonke Sisistering. There's only one
There's
main
no
character.
way. There's
only one main character in a movie. You have a protagonist and an antagonist.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if I can't be a protagonist today, I'll be a protagonist tomorrow.
Sure.
And I think that week was me just trying to realize that I'm not competing with people that already made it on the show, because we already all won. I'm competing with people outside now.
Do you think you'd be able to give yourself pre-BigBrotherMzansi advice, knowing what you know now? It's a yes or no question.
I definitely
It's a yes.
so.
So what advice would you give yourself?
Get nominated week 1. Tell them in week 1. You, and you. in another language that is French. Then they say, nominate him. Break his feelings. Yeah, then you stand. Then you sit again. Then the next week comes, you're like, yeah, you were eating too much food. You stand, you sit again. No, Tyrone, being nice wasn't cute. Biggie must call me for All Stars. I'll be a villain. South Africa won't know what to do with me. South Africa will be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, this is my villain arc.
Tyrone, I want us to reflect on your journey. Off air, you were talking about how you and I went to the same institution.
Yeah.
And people at that institution would talk about like, Smash, guys, Smash is your dude. Hit him up.
If you want a pathway in life, look at I'm thinking Smash. Smash, why are you making our life tough? Already making it in this space
now,
is so
one
difficult.
of the things that you made very clear in the house, like, Smash, I'm coming for your presenting job.
Me?
I'm coming for any opportunity where I can present. Give me a microphone. Guys, let me show you my talent.
Smash, should I say it with English?
I don't know.
I maybe said it in chores.
I think you insinuated it.
Maybe it was
and I picked it up, and because I'm obsessed with the show.
Yeah.
Outside of being, the live eviction show host, I do, make time to watch the show. If you were to say to someone watching this interview and they've got main character energy, how should they approach being in the BigBrotherMzansi house with all that considered?
I think that's why they chose you. No one chooses an extra for Big Brother. You make yourself an extra on Big Brother. They choose people who are extroverts, people who are introverts. They choose people who have talents and skills that are so widely different that you're your main character in your own story. And if you get lost in that source and you start realizing, I'm competing with Smash, you're not competing with Smash, you're competing with yourself.
Yeah.
You're fighting for that 2 million alone.
Yeah.
When we said it so much in the last, this is not your mother's house. This is Big Brother's house.
Yeah.
Take your main character energy and know how to adapt it to any space.
Boom. And that is a case study from Tyrone. Boiler room decisions on for the week.
Man.
I think that's what Big Brother should have said.
Man.
Talk to me about your experience in there. Because now you can't talk about what you're going through in there. It's just you and Biggie.
Ingari, Biggie could have given me those other envelopes where I could have gotten a house or a phone. Maybe I could have even chosen a man with that money. Mara, me, I must choose between getting a message from people who have known me my whole life, people who saw me grow up, people who I chatted to every day. I love them. I even said in the diary room how much I miss them. Mara, 50K for someone who I'm going to see in 3 weeks. There's something else in that Biggie. We mustn't take it. If he had said, Big Brother is going to take it from his savings account. Yeah, it's fine. Sharp, give me my message. But from the grand prize that I want a cut of, a sauce. My mother saw me for 18 years. She'll see me on TV and I'll say, I love you so much, Mom.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
And what advice would you give the housemates? Obviously, they can't see this interview.
Yes.
And they'll watch it when they leave. What advice do you have for them in the boiler room this coming week? Because the boiler room is still in play.
A sauce. That's Big Brother for you. Oh, that's him. Oh, he doesn't play. He doesn't wash. He washes with Sundays. That's says Biggie. Unjema. That's him. But my advice, man, I think go in there with a logical mind. If you go into the boiler room with an emotional, I would have taken a message. But I was like, I don't want this money to be less. Already, I knew people in the house are very emotional. I saw the characters, they're constantly crying about home. What? You are going to use that 50K like this. And everyone's going to think, it's just 50K, it's just 50K. But the whole, that was 500,000.
Yeah.
Go on, just...
Do you think the house got more peaceful as certain people were evicted?
Definitely.
Be honest, and who?
Very much so. The house was so peaceful.
Let's go through the list.
The house was so peaceful. From peace became a state of mind. Peace could have been a song.
Okay, who was the first person who left and you felt, oh yes, peace is on the way?
I think it would be KB.
Second person, like, oh, peace is finally around the corner.
I would say Ashley.
And then, peace is here.
Yeah, peace was present. Peace had moved in.
What was it about KB and Ashley that took away the peace?
You know, I wouldn't say it was anything about them. I think it was just maybe the way they approached certain situations. Sure. Yanda would always say your manner of approach. And if you had looked at how some people approach things, sometimes you think, but why? Mara unjani na wena? Like, how are you? You know? Because I get we want drama. I mean, no one wants a house that's peaceful. No one wants a house that is, we're all friends, yeah, sister.
Kumbaya,
No one
kumbaya.
wants that. We want drama, no, as a viewer. But sometimes I think they took it to an extent where it's like,
Let's talk about your bonds, the bonds that you created.
Yes.
First, the bromance between you and Swiss. You guys were like, oh.
friend, you know, where
When
have
did-
you been? Nobody knows me like you do.
But what I also appreciated was the fact that you were cognizant of the reality that you met in the house, you can connect in the house, but as soon as you leave the house,
It's a different
the priority
situation.
list of people
Changes.
changes. And you were very clear about that. What led to you and Swiss connecting?
I would be lying to you if I said I
don't know.
I don't know.
What led to you and Jojo connecting? I remember a part where Jojo's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you in my neighborhood. And he said,
You know, Smash
what made you connect with her?
I don't know how I make friends.
Yeah.
But I like people liking me.
And
which
Nate,
is-
and everyone thought Nate was a snake, but you were like, let
You
me
know,
keep Nate close.
If people think you're a snake, they're the ones who think you're a snake. What if I think you're a cat?
Meow.
You know, just
Meow,
a
meow.
wolf. Our impressions of people are not the same. And it's like people would come to me and be like, but Nate. I'm like, but guys, that's not the version of Nate that I'm experiencing.
All right, I like that. Now, according to your opinion, who was your biggest competition?
Sweet.
Ne?
Sweet.
Now, on that topic, before we even go in deep, bruh, Big Brother says, everybody, you're gonna nominate face to face.
Oh, what?
You are smart in your decision in nominating Pilile and Sweet.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, no, probably these guys from KZN have a stronghold in
backing.
terms of support and all of that
course.
stuff. And people like relationships and people like, personalities like Pilile. So
Yeah.
let me nominate. And then Big Brother gives you the Inferno. Oh,
He says, go to
what
the
a
diary room.
boring Inferno nomination
You think
gave
so?
South Africa. What was the
Ah.
thinking there?
You know what the thing is, man? I feel like people want us to be predictable as housemates at times. And now because I stood there and I said Smash and Big Brother, when I go to the diary room, that's what I must say.
What was the thinking there?
So when I chose this person, I was like, you know what, man? This young lady, I love her, but I don't get what's happening. Just let us live long and peaceful. It's okay. It's fine. We love your contribution and we've accepted it. But your race has been run. But South Africa didn't think that. They thought my race was run.
So the top 10.
Yeah. Slay.
What are your thoughts about the top 10? And you've made it very clear that you think Sweet is going to take this.
I think Sweet is... You know what, Smash? If you look at Sweet, you see talent.
Yeah, but I get
His
talent.
character
Yeah.
in the house has been so pure to who he is as a person that even me, who was in the house, I was like, I concede. Like, he's just funny. So I mean, I'm funny, but he's funny effortlessly.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Like he's so good at what he does, and it's not thought of.
It's not put on.
It's not.
It's not a performance.
It's just.
It just
him.
oozes.
It just oozes.
So you think Sweet, right?
Let
Let me be spicy. Who do you think should not be in the top 10? Give me 3 names.
Damn, that's so hard.
Yeah.
I think, we're being spicy most, ne? So it's the spicy chakalaka. I'd say PK, Jojo, as well as Uspesi.
I didn't see Jojo coming though. in
I
that
love
list.
Jojo.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you said you're being spicy, chagalaka.
Yeah. And my reason being that it's very difficult to compare what we see in the house compared to what people see outside the house. And you can only rely on either other people, other sorts of momentum, or even just putting on an act for so long before that needs to run out. But if you can carry it through, slay. Do live your best life.
Where to from here? What is next for Tai Tai?
Hey, what is next for Tai Tai? There's so much that I want to be next, but definitely working on my networking and creating a platform and a name and a brand for myself so that I can be in that seat.
Yeah.
If not for this show, for another show.
Yeah.
If not opening a show, closing a show. If not doing a red carpet, doing the main stage. And from there, doing radio. I mean, radio was my first love.
Yeah.
Radio was how I fell in love with the idea of being on stage and presenting. And the fact that they're so different, the fact that emceeing a crowd, to emceeing a live show, to emceeing a scripted show, to then being on air is so different. And I just want to make sure I constantly keep people laughing.
That's what I love. To your fans, to your friends, to your family, what would you like to say to all of them?
Hey, you want me to cry on national
Look into that
TV?
camera. Look into that camera. You're on the internet, so please cry.
On the interwaves. There's so many cries. There's so many tears. To everybody, I can only be so grateful. Like, me even getting this far means that you guys have supported me. You guys have poured love, poured prayers. You've spoken to your ancestors and said that this guy makes me laugh. And I'm gonna keep you guys laughing. Follow, subscribe, Tyrone the first. He's always the first in the building.
Love it. Thank you so much, Ty. South Africa, let me tell you, it's not easy doing this job. Every week, someone's heart gets broken, whether it's a viewer or a housemate. But I am a conduit. I'm a messenger. I'm the vessel. Don't shoot me. Don't come for me. When you see me, show me love. I'll see you on channel 161 Mzansi Magic every Sunday, 6 p.m. for BigBrotherMzansi live eviction show. Lots of love and light.